Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NEXXTCAR Racing League here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. Tonight, as you can see here in practice, these drivers are going to have their hands full in this one. We are at the new configuration for Atlanta Motor Speedway. These drivers, you can see it here in practice, they are all over the track. Atlanta Motor Speedway is now a mini super speedway, and it is giving these drivers some problems here tonight. You can see that 12 car, he's went for a couple wild rides here. Matthew Tucker has sent him around off his front bumper, and a bunch of these other guys have definitely had their hands full in this one. It is fast. It is narrow, and these drivers are going to have danger all around them tonight. 120 laps here around this 1.5 mile track of Atlanta Motor Speedway. It was reconfigured last year, and in the NASCAR series, it provided some amazing racing and hoping to have the same outcome here tonight in NEXXTCAR. These drivers know what's at stake. This is week 8, baby. It is time to put everything that's happened behind you, and it is time to look forward to these last 3 races of the season. Absolutely cannot believe we're almost through season 1 already. This season has absolutely flown by. These drivers have put on one heck of a show, not only for myself up here in the booth, but for you guys watching at home, at work, wherever you guys might be watching from. It is truly appreciated. These drivers appreciate it. And more importantly, I appreciate you guys tuning in every Sunday night here for NEXXTCAR, because these drivers, if it wasn't for them putting on a heck of a show, then there would be no reason for us to do this. But you can see this pack racing is going to be fun tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys came for a show, you are going to get one tonight. There is no doubt about it. Let's get your tower up. You got Maxwell, Michael Maxwell, leading the way here with a 30.55. That is his fastest lap of the night. You got David Chandler in second with a 30.66. Robert Babcock making his return. He's missed a couple races. He's sitting third with a 30.69. And then Andrew Bolander in that number 2 Goodwrench Service Chevy Silverado throwback to Dale Earnhardt is going to be sitting in 4th with Peyton right there in 5th. Then you got your guy that won 2 weeks ago at Canadian Tire. Remember, we were off last week for Thanksgiving, so we did not race at all last week. But your winner in Canadian Tire, Nicholas Trudeau, is going to round out your field back there in the 16th position. But sorry about having to start a second live stream. Streamlabs OBS did a major update. Didn't realize when I started the last one that it was going to be in 720p. Well, you know what? That ain't no good for iRacing, folks. When these drivers are putting on the show that they have been doing, we got to get that baby up in 4K. So we have got to get it figured out here. But like I said, we got to go in here, so hope you guys are enjoying it. But these drivers right now putting Atlanta to the task here in this one. Bunch of drivers making their big returns to NEXXTCAR. We just mentioned it. Babcock, he's making his return after a 3-week break. Henning, he's making his way back. Zachary Brooks, he's making his way back. Nick Trudeau, I know the man didn't want to race tonight. He is currently battling the flu in that number. Actually, it says he's in the 19 truck. That ain't right. But Nick Trudeau, he's got himself battling the flu, but decided to stick it out here and make the race tonight. So definitely much liked about that, but he is actually the 89 truck. I'm not sure why it's showing him that he is the 19, but actually that is because Turner is in that 89 truck. So he is actually in the wrong number tonight. Yeah, Turner is in the wrong number, but as you see, everybody's disappearing, folks. It's time to go qualifying here at Atlanta. Now, you saw the pack racing here in practice. Well, that is non-existent here in qualifying. It is lone qualifying, so these drivers have just themselves to worry about. They got to put down the fastest lap that they can all by themselves, folks. You guys know how it is. The first 5 minutes of qualifying is dedicated to the drivers to put down the fastest lap possible. The second 5 minutes of qualifying is for your drivers meeting and any questions or issues anyone may have. So the next 10 minutes, like I said, first 5 minutes are qualifying. The second 5 are for your drivers meeting. And as these drivers are putting down laps, we will bring it up so you guys can see what exactly they got going on. But let's go ahead and let's get your race information up here tonight. Week number 8 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway at the new track, Hootist 180, for the new and improved configuration of Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's still a 1.52 mile track, so 120 laps. We got 180 miles today, folks. These drivers are going to have their hands full. You can see it. The air temperature, 82 degrees with 8-mile-an-hour wind. That is going to be crucial for these guys coming out of turn number 2. I expect that is going to be an issue for some of these guys. That wind at 8 miles an hour is going to be just enough to break those trucks loose coming out of this high banking here at Atlanta. Track temp 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Not the highest we've seen this season, but this track is hot. It's going to be slick. And that with pack racing, folks, we're in for a good one here tonight in Atlanta, Georgia here for this one. Sorry about that, but yeah, making our return after taking last week off for Thanksgiving. It feels good to be back, folks. It really does. Absolutely missed it last week. I wish we could race every weekend, but unfortunately with the holidays, that's just not doable. But these guys, I'm hoping, will continue to put on a show like they have all season long here around this 1.5 mile track. It's a mini super speedway, folks. If you guys do not know, it is basically a little Daytona and Talladega. You know, Daytona and Talladega, they're the main super speedways in NASCAR. Well, they decided to turn Atlanta into a mini super speedway. It's fast, it's pack racing, it's narrow, and it has everything that you need to make for some amazing racing here tonight. So I look for that to be the big thing out of these drivers tonight. You know, in the first week or so, it was definitely a difficult start to the season. I'm not even going to lie. Daytona, definitely a race to forget. But you know what? That is what this is all about. It is a learning opportunity, and these drivers have absolutely learned. There is no doubt about it. They have put it behind them, but something that these drivers aren't going to put behind them is the battle for the championship. Let's go ahead and let's get your point standings up there right now. As you can see, Matthew Erickson continuing to lead the way here in the Truck Series. He currently is sitting at 199 points, just 1 point below 200. John Turner sitting in second, 10 points behind him. Peyton has worked his way into the top 3. He's sitting just 1 point behind John Turner. J.D. Larson just 4 points behind Peyton. And then Jonathan Wright right behind them as well. So your top 5, you can still throw a blanket over, folks. This championship is all but won at this point. You still don't know who's going to be your champion. This race including, we still have 3 more races including tonight to settle your championship. So who knows at this point who your champion is going to be. It is still up for grabs by anybody. And then right behind the top 5, you got Andrew Bolander, just 3 points behind JD in 5th. Matt Tucker in 7th, just 3 points behind Andrew. And then 2 points back to Christopher Thomas, 2 more points back to Mitch Diamond, and then 2 more points back to David Chandler in 10th. So any of the top 10 guys are still in this fight for the championship. And this is exactly what we were looking forward to most with making the switch to iRacing. You know, over on Heat, you had the same 1, 2, 3 guys dominating all season, every season. But when we made the switch to iRacing, we had the hopes and dreams that that would eliminate this. And folks, these standings prove that that is exactly what has happened. The top 10 in points, you don't know who's going to win the championship. This is absolutely amazing. iRacing has done its job. These drivers have done their job. These guys have put on a show all 7 races prior to this one, folks. Tonight is not going to be any different. But let's get back to the track, ladies and gentlemen, as it is about time to start your drivers meeting here in this one. The first 5 minutes are over. Let's bring up your tower to see. We just talked about him. Nicholas Trudeau coming in hot after the win 2 weeks ago at Canadian Tire. My man, battling the flu. has come out here and grabbed that pole at Atlanta. Peyton Tulloch is second, David Chandler third, Robert Babcock making his return in fourth, Matt Tucker fifth, Mitch Diamond in sixth. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is time to jump in there and get your drivers meeting started. All right, fellas, can you all hear me?
No.
Gotcha, buddy.
Aye, Captain.
All right, sorry about that. I had to grab a quick drink of water. Welcome to the 8th week of the season. Can't believe it. 3 more races left this season, and season 1 will be in the books. Tonight, you got 4 sets of tires here around the new and improved Atlanta Motor Speedway. You got that one quick repair, so make sure you guys take it easy here for the first 119 laps, as you got 120 around here tonight. 180 miles. 4 sets of tires, like I said, 1 quick repair. You got 30 times damage. So make sure y'all are taking it easy with that bump drafting around here. Geico restart zone will be in effect. Drop of the green flag here to start the race will be on the flag man. Do not go prior to that because iRacing will give you a black flag. If you are starting second, do not pass the leader at all before the start finish line because you will receive a black flag for that as well. All restarts after the initial start will be on the leader. Once he is inside the Geico restart zone, he may go at any time. And then the red line. I know we talked about it in the Discord a little bit. That will be treated as the yellow line at Daytona and Talladega. So there will be no passes permitted underneath it. Obviously, you know, things happen if you get pushed down there or whatever. And just don't, you know, improve your position. Just try to jump back up in line as you can. But be careful because coming out of the trial is where it's going to happen the most. So just be careful jumping back into the line. Anyone got anything?
Fast repair is still 1.
If you would pay attention, that would have been answered. Yes, 1.
Thank you, Captain Dipshit.
Ronnie, I got a question. You say we can't advance our position below the red line, but can we use the red line to get runs? And once we get back above it, then use it to pass?
I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else, but did it sound like Christopher was in a Category 5 hurricane there?
Yeah. It was not clear.
Can you hear me now?
Gotcha, buddy.
All right. Now, you said we cannot advance our position below the red line. Can we use the front, going below the red line on the front stretch to create runs to pass, but we have to be above the red line, or is that also permitted?
That's a good one. I'm going to go ahead and say no on that, just because when people are going to be rejoining heading into turn 1, I don't want it to bottleneck everybody up and take out the whole field.
Yeah, if everybody starts cutting the front stretch into that red line, it's just going to be massive wrecks because of it.
Yeah.
Hard to judge, you know, when they're coming back up and where they're coming back up if you're on the outside. So just please keep it above the red line. Thanks.
Simple. I've just seen a lot of that during practice, so I was just going to clarify if it was all right to create runs or not. So, simple.
All right, anyone got anything? You got about 10 seconds before gridding.
Yeah, is this race sponsored by Google?
Negative. Doesn't rhyme.
Ah, gotcha.
All right, fellas. Good luck tonight.
I'd just like to give a shout out to Robert Babcock for finally joining a NEXXTCAR race. Round of applause for the 99 truck for coming back.
We knew he was going to say something. Now we're going to mute everybody. All right, there we go. We're going to get them muted. Let's take your gridding lineup here in this one. 180 miles, folks. These drivers are going to have their hands full, no doubt about it. But let's check out your starting grid for this one. Nicholas Trudeau in that number 89 NEXXTCAR Racing League Chevy Silverado. He is going to grab his pole fresh off that win 2 weeks ago, Canadian Tire. Peyton Tulloch still looking for his first win of the season down here in the trucks. Can he possibly get it done here starting on the outside of the front row? Number 3, David Chandler. He's going to grab that 3rd position. 4th is going to go to the way of Robert Babcock in that number 99. Matthew Tucker is going to grab that 5th position while Mitch Diamond grabs 6th. Christopher Thomas is going to grab 7th. Steve Bocock 8th. Jonathan Wright 9th. Andrew Bolander is going to round out your top 10 tonight. J.D. Larson in the 11th position, while Michael Maxwell, you saw him top the charts in practice, but he is not going to qualify too well. He is going to be starting mid-pack back here in 12th. 13th is going to go to Zachary Brooks in that number 22. Matthew Erickson 14th. John Turner 15th. Camden Jester obviously is the race control. I'm bringing you the boost, so Stephen Henning is going to be making his way up to the 16th position, while Jimmy Emos is going to be starting 17th. So these guys are going to have their hands full starting all the way back here. It's going to be interesting to watch them work their way up through this field, folks. But the guy we are going to be talking to, Nicholas Trudeau, is getting a little impatient there, buddy. Waiting on that pace car to roll off a pit road. Everybody's rolling except for the pace car in this one. But the pace car is going to be rolling, bringing these guys off a pit road. Let's get inside that 89 truck and let's get your pre-race interviews going.
Never mind.
Nicholas Trudeau, drawing you up in the booth. You got me, buddy.
Ready there, guys. Let's go.
Go ahead, Ronnie.
Oh, we probably ran step by the time we get back there, but, you know.
All right, Nick, coming in hot off your win 2 weeks ago, Canadian Tire. Coming out here, grabbing the pole. How you feeling about it tonight?
Really, Tucker? Really? Very unsure right now, just because I needed that fucking cone. I think I'm just going to keep it up front and have everyone behind me. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a very interesting race, so just try to keep it clean.
Absolutely. Best of luck.
We're switching to all teams. Y'all can hear it. Ronnie's talking.
All right, folks. The pace car. The lights are off. These drivers making their way through turns 3 and 4 for the first time tonight in this one. We are about to go green for the 8th race of the season. The pace car hooking that hard left. Control of the field. In the flagman's hand on top of the flag stand. Nicholas Trudeau, green flag is in the air here in Atlanta. He's going to get a beautiful start. He is going to clear the field, but here comes Peyton in the 17. He's going to make his way back up there, try to get to the outside, but folks, they're still going to be side by side. Peyton's going to make the big dive to the bottom. The front 3, single file. Matthew Tucker still stuck side by side with Robert Babcock in the 99. Almost a 3-wide situation there heading into turn number 3 for the first time tonight under racing conditions. The front 3 are all clear of the outside line, but here comes Robert Babcock in the 99. He's going to get a big push from Mitch Diamond in that 65. Here comes Robert Babcock in that number 99. He's trying to get that high line to work. He's going to get some help from that number 65 badass Ford F-150. I'm sorry, that's a Chevy. But they are trying to work their way up there big time. Here comes the 04 of Jonathan Wright. He's going to get some big push from out back as well. That is the number 7. Big save by the 7. Big save by the 5. They all keep it going straight. That was a heck of a save. Michael Maxwell in the 7. Christopher Thomas in the 5. That was an incredible save by both drivers coming into the tri-oval. Oh, saving Matthew Tucker. It looks like he may be bailing. Doesn't like what he sees out front. Remember, folks, this is a mini super speedway. A lot of these guys are going to be treating it just like they do super speedway racing, where they're going to be jumping in and out of the pack all night long here, folks. These drivers, big push by the 65 to the back of the 99. side by side for the lead here at Atlanta. Let's get your tire up here there on lap 4 out of 120. Peyton's going to drop out of the back. He doesn't like what he sees out front either. But the man who's not dropping back, David Chandler, all over the back bumper of Nick in the 89. Here comes the 99 with the big run. Off the high side, off of turn number 4. He's going to carry that momentum all the way to the lead. Robert Babcock, not quite clear of the inside line. He led that lap, but not quite clear of the 89 to drop down in front. The 5 with another big save, 3 wide down the backstretch. Michael Maxwell, the 5's going to cut him a break. He's going to let him drop back down in there. This track, you can go 3 wide, but it gets very tight. This is a very narrow track here, and he just cut that 7 a huge break. The 7 had better remember that later on. Christopher Thomas, he had the epic save earlier on lap 2. Well, he just cut that 7, another big break. The 5 and the 7 cannot quite seem to get away from each other here. 5 laps completed, coming to complete lap number 6 this time. But out front, it has been all Robert Babcock and Nicholas Trudeau. Trudeau on the inside, Babcock on the outside. Can't quite clear him. The 1's going to have to fall back. That's going to give way to the 99, but here comes Trudeau right back on that inside. Let's jump on board the 7 of Michael Maxwell. See what exactly he's seeing out front here around this 1.5 mile super speedway. You can see exactly what he is seeing. Big checkup. He had to check up big time so he didn't get stuck in the middle nor spin that number 1. Big heads up move as the 04 is going to pinch him down big time. The 7, save it, buddy. He's going to save it, but he's going to lose it all. Big save by the 7, but he is going to fall all the way back to the 14th, now 15th position. But that was a big save right there. No doubt about it, but back out front, they continue to be side by side here, coming to complete lap number 8. Robert Babcock making that high line work. Oh, David Chandler's going to drop back. I couldn't tell if he got loose or if he's dropping back, but he's definitely dropping back now. But here comes the 28 of Matthew Erickson saying, all right, buddy, you're going to drop back and give away that position. I'm going to drop down there and I'll take it. Here comes that 28 truck of Matthew Erickson. In the Pearl Harbor anniversary, December 7th will be the 81st anniversary of Pearl Harbor, as we saw more contact there between a 5 and somebody. But December 7th will be the 81st anniversary of Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941, and an absolute beautiful paint scheme there in that number 28. Let's see if we can't possibly try and get a seeing of it with our drone camera. There you go. It's got the Pearl Harbor, December 7th, a date which will live in infamy, speech and everything. Absolutely beautiful truck there by Michael Erickson. Made it himself. Absolutely beautiful job. He has made so many of these drivers' paint schemes tonight. And another driver he made is that all-new number 65. Actually, he's not running the brand new truck scheme. I thought for sure he would be, but it is not looking like he is. I'm sorry, it's the 04 that got the new paint scheme. Yeah, the 04 got the new badass paint scheme. Yeah, not the 65, it was the 04. But these drivers still 11 laps in, side by side for the front 10 rows. These drivers are not playing. Oh, the 99 is going to slide up a little bit. That got tight right there between the 99, the 65, and the 04. Nick, save it, buddy. Big save by the 89. We've had a couple guys bail out of the front. Well, now that has left that inside line vulnerable. Nick, big check up by the 65 and the 89. Oh, they're wrecking out back. We got John Turner involved. Stephen Henning, big carnage out back. That is about to be the biggest caution we've had all season. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the big one here at Atlanta. That is what Super Speedway Racing does. And here comes David Chandler. Or I'm sorry, that's not David Chandler. That's Jimmy Emos. Just full sending it through it. Jesus, buddy. But let's back it up and see what transpired under this caution. You saw the aftermath, folks. It's time to back it up and see what exactly caused it here. Let's see if we can't picture what exactly happened. Right there, the 5's getting loose. You saw it, Christopher Thomas right there. Let's see if we can't jump onto his following here. There we go. Right there, just gets loose, comes down the track. And the 22 is Zachary Brooks, just happened to be there. The 12 with the big ride, nowhere to go for him. 18 slams into the wall. The 7, nowhere to go. Let's back it up and let's jump on board that number 12. And see just what exactly he saw from his point of view. This is going to be his cockpit view. It all looks good. And then the 5 just gets loose, comes right down into the 22, and nowhere to go for all these guys. Man, carnage on lap 13 of this one. But the 12 coming down to get some things fixed on that number 12 Chevy Silverado. The veterans support our troops. Absolutely loving the military support here in NEXXTCAR. NEXXTCAR has got a huge military backing. Think we did the math, and there's 8 or 9 military veterans in active duty here in NEXXTCAR, and absolutely love to see that many guys. You know, NEXXTCAR's always had its military involvement. I think even when we started season 1, I think we were at like 4 or 5 active duty and veterans here in NEXXTCAR. And throughout the seasons, it has grown, and absolutely am stoked to have as many military affiliates as we have. But these drivers, they've put on a show here, and that is your first caution of the night. But the Pearl Harbor 81st anniversary of Matthew Erickson is out front here at Atlanta. The lights are off on the pace car. We are going green this time. Everybody pitted under this last pit stop except for one guy, and that is the guy leading the race right now. It's going to be interesting to see just how does that, how do the tires fare here? As you see several guys still on pit road getting some damage fixed. The 5 of Thomas, the 7 of Maxwell, those two just could not get away from each other at the beginning of this race, and they are involved in the same incident. Stephen Henning 1 lap down, and J.D. Larson also on pit road as well in at number 18. But the pace car leading these guys through 3 and 4, going green this time. Erickson, Babcock make up the front row. Bolander right second. Tucker and Diamond make up your third. Trudeau Turner fourth. Zachary Brooks and Peyton Tulloch make up your fifth row. But the pace car looking to hook that hard left. There it goes down onto pit road. Handing control of the field to the number 28 Ford F-150. The Geico restart zone. Green flag's going to be back out in the air. Deal 4, big push. The 65, that stacks everybody up. Absolutely stacks them all up here. Can the outside line clear the 28? Babcock not quite clear enough to make that move. Here comes the 25 of Tucker. Oh, Tucker's going to bail out of it again. But back out front, it's the 04 pushing the 28 and the 2 to the 99. Here comes Nick Trudeau right back on that high line. He's the third truck, that all-white NEXXTCAR Chevy on that high line. The third one from the front. He's going to get a big run. He's going to have to lift a little bit, but he is going to give it all he's got to try to get that outside line clear the inside. You're seeing a bunch of these guys slipping and sliding everywhere, folks. We talked about it. This track is hot. This track is slick. This track is bad fast. And it is providing some great racing here. And this one, the 99, going to try and pinch down that inside line a little bit. Try to get a little bit of side draft going on. But it is not going to help as Matthew Erickson is going to lead that outside line, or the inside line rather, to the lead. But the 04, save it, buddy. Jonathan Wright, another big save by another driver here in this one. Man. Another big save here. Babcock just barely cleared a 28, drops down in front of him. You saw just how squirrely the 28 got. The 99 squirrely too. He's going to try to throw a big block 3 wide through the tri-oval. How is this going to work out for these guys? The 89 is going to back out of it. That is John Turner. Not in the right truck number. But here comes Nick Trudeau. He's going to try and make it 3 wide, possibly looking through the middle. But instead, he's going to stay on the back bumper of Bolander. He is going to push the 2 truck. Andrew Bolander is going to lead his first lap of the night. 20 laps down, 100 to go here tonight, folks. These drivers have been putting on a heck of a show here in this one. Oh, that was close right there. The 2 looked like he was going to dive to the bottom, but then decided to slide back up in front of the 89. Nick is going to abandon the 2. He's going to drop to the bottom and lead that inside line. Here comes the 2 with the big push from his buddy in the 65. Mitch Diamond is going to push that 2 truck right back to the front. But here comes the help from the 99 and the 28 to the back of the 89. The 99 is going to slip up a little bit right there, but that's going to allow him to get a big momentum push here right to the back of the 89. They're going to still be side by side. Another save by the 99. He's not going to save it. He is going to save it. He's going to save it down pit road. Robert Babcock, he's going to go spinning through the infield grass. We are going to stay green here, folks. Caution's going to fly for the second time. You saw it live. The 99 with the big push to the back of Trudeau, and that 89 got him sideways through 3 and 4, and a big save by that 99 to not come back up onto the track and take out anybody else with him, and to not slam into that pit road wall. Big save by the 99. That could have been a heck of a lot worse for that Toyota, but big heads up save there by that 99. But Andrew Bolander in the number 2 continues to lead the way here under the second caution of the night. Let's go ahead and, since we're under caution here, they are racing to try to catch back up to the pace car. Let's go ahead and check out your weather here. 101 degree track temp here. So it is getting cooler as the day goes on. The air temp is at an 82 degrees, humidity 32%. Absolutely nowhere close to what we saw 2 weeks ago at Canadian Tire for these trucks. These guys had some foggy situations to deal with. We were sitting at a 98% humidity at Canadian Tire 2 weeks ago, and it created some fog that these guys had to deal with. It was cool to see from the booth, but it was probably not fun to see from the cockpit of one of these trucks. I have absolutely no doubt about it. But the 2 of Andrew Bolander now finds himself out front as I was going to try and see who's getting their lap back. I'm not exactly sure who it was. But, folks, we're going to step away here for a quick intermission. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back to bring you more of the action here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
let me take you there. You see, I've been around the globe. I've seen a lot, babe. But I wanna see what's above. I wanna see what's below. Just tell me where you wanna go. You can name the place, yeah, you can name the time. We can leave it all behind. No stop or rewind. Before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a boat right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all, baby, we should go. Get set, go, take off.
All right, folks, you see it. The lights are off on the pace car. We are about to go back racing here at Atlanta. Andrew Bolander is going to have control of the field heading back to the Geico restart zone coming out of turn number 4 once that pace car hooks that hard left on the pit road. The 65 of Mitch Diamond has worked his way up 4 positions. He is going to be sitting in that second position. How about John Turner in at number 89? He's actually the number, 29, but he has worked his way up here into the 3rd position. Green flag is going to be back out in the air here at the new Atlanta Motor Speedway. They're going to be side by side on the restart. Both rows back. That 5 car is going to have nobody to his inside. He's going to drop down to the inside. No, he's not. He's going to stay to the outside as they are going to get all spread out behind your 4 leaders. Jimmy Emos is going to drop out. That's a big move by him. But David Chandler trying to figure out which line to go. Big save by the 5 as he's going to get extremely tight through 3 and 4. He's going to stay to the outside, and it's going to cost him a couple positions here. But back out front, Andrew Bolander and John Turner side by side in this one. David Chandler trying to work with that 29, trying to push him up there, trying to get him past Andrew Bolander. Mitch Diamond still pushing all over the back bumper of the 2. Here comes the 1. Zachary Brooks, what a run that 22 truck is having right now. You see him right there, that Toyota on the inside line, number 22. Big run by him. And how about the number 12? Here comes Steve Bocock in the 12. Very aggressive racing right now by the 12. We are not used to seeing this out of that 12 truck. At Daytona this season, he ran around the back until it was go time. Well, now he is putting that behind him and trying a different strategy. He finished 4th at Daytona earlier this season in the Cup Series, where he kind of ran around in the back and then up into the front. But now he's putting that behind him. We saw him involved in that big caution there, the very first caution of the night on lap 13. Well, he has got that truck all repaired. He used that quick repair and now finds himself up there in the top 5. Big recovery by the 12, but he has got an absolute mirrorful of that 99. Big save by the 5 once again. Christopher Thomas, another big save coming out of 4. Oh, big caution coming out of Tri-Oval. Steve Bocock, we were just talking about the recovery of the 12. And unbelievable. Involved in the 3rd caution here tonight. Big damage to the front of the 12. It started way in front of him. It looks like it may have started with that 65 of Mitch Diamond. Maybe even the 29. Let's get on John Turner and see what happened here. Yep, just not clear of the 2. Just not clear of the 2 at all. The field flying apart heading into turn 1. Let's back it up here and let's jump inside the cockpit of some of these guys. Let's jump inside Nick Trudeau's. Let's see what he saw out of the front windshield of this 89. There's the big save by the 5. That was an incredible save. And then just a good job of locking it down. Whoa, watch out, Nick. Missed it. Wow. What a move by the 89. Let's back it up and see just how close it was for that 89 truck. Man. That was a great job by him just locking it down, though. Not getting ran over from behind and not plowing into anybody in front of him. Right here, the 65 comes back down. Just misses him. Oh, man. That was close right there, folks. That was absolutely close. That's about as close as it gets without you being involved in it. But the third caution of the night is out. 33 laps into this one. These drivers have put on a heck of a show so far. But let's get it cleaned up here, guys. 3 cautions and 30 laps. You guys can do it. Let's get it cleaned up. I know what you guys are capable of. That is something I just don't understand about the Truck Series. You know, every race this season so far, about the first quarter of the race is where 90% of the cautions come from. But then the last 3 quarters of the race is the best racing you will see all season long. I don't know how they do it and what they learn in the first couple of laps. But once like I said, the first quarter of the race is done, these drivers clean it up amazingly. And I think it's because, you know, they get that fast repair they got to use early on. And then they got to kind of, you know, ride around. But, man, hopefully tonight will be another example of that. But right now, John Turner, that number 89 on the truck, but really the number 29, leading the way here in this one. You see them going back side by side, folks. The lights are off on the pace truck or the pace car. Everyone trying to get everything figured out here about mid-pack. Trying to figure out where everybody's supposed to be. It looks like they might be able to get it figured out here. There we go. Everybody's got it figured out. There we go. Let's get back up front as we are going to see John Turner lead this field back to the green flag. Robert Babcock, Steve Bocock, and J.D. Larson, along with Michael Maxwell, is still on pit road getting some damage fixed. Remember, a couple of these guys, everyone involved in that caution except for Robert Babcock, all was involved in the first caution of the evening. So they all used that fast repair very early on lap 13. So these guys have got to sit on pit road and get that damage fixed. But hey, it's worth it because you don't know what's going to happen. But these drivers putting what they just witnessed behind them and try to get back to it as the pace car is going to lead them out of turn number 4 for the 3rd time tonight under the yellow flag condition. And that is going to lead or hand the control of the field to the 29 of John Turner. Green flag is going to be back out in the air here at Atlanta. He's going to get a great start. So does the 1. And they are going to clear the field. And where does the 1 go? Does he stay up high or does he drop down to the bottom in front of the 5? But here comes Christopher Thomas. We have seen that 5 make some incredible saves here in this one. And it's looking like he might just have to make another one. As the 38 of Jimmy Emos hard up into the outside wall through 1 and 2. But we're staying out front here side by side for the lead. Here comes Thomas down low in the 5. Turner trying it on the outside in the 29. He's got the 1 of David Chandler behind him. Thomas has the 28 of Erickson, who's got the 89 of Nick Trudeau behind him, who's got the 17 of Peyton Tilluck behind him. Remember, Peyton started in 3rd, working his way now up there into the 6th position, side by side still for the lead. A lot of jostling going on for positions right now as Matthew Erickson now taking control of this race in that number 28. Jostling for position just like you'd see at Daytona and Talladega. These drivers aren't racing this track any different than that. But here comes the 89. Oh, the 5. Can he save it again? He will. Another save by the 5. David Chandler in trouble. He's up into the wall. Another save by the 5 of Christopher Thomas. Side by side, back out front for the lead. This time it's Trudeau going around the outside. The 28 is going to get a little loose. So does the 65, but so does Nick, and that's going to give momentum right back to that inside line. They're going to be 3 wide almost coming out of turn number 2. Nick Trudeau's going to fall back a little bit on that high line. He saw himself and everyone underneath him get extremely loose. But here comes the 65 of Mitch Diamond on the outside. He now leads the charge around that high line. Nick Trudeau behind him. Mitch is going to slip up a little bit there on the exit of 2. Nick is running the lower line on the exit. The 65 is running a higher line, but they get it figured out. And the 65 is not quite going to get clear of that 28. Erickson still leading the charge on the inside, but that lap is going to go to the way of the 65, who's actually not leading. I am sorry, that 65 is laps down. He has just gone up there and got his lap back the hard way. I apologize. The 65 is not the leader. Right now it's the 89 and Nick Trudeau. But Erickson now taking it back with the 65 jumping down in front of him. So that 65, remember, is a lap down. He is currently 31 seconds behind the leader because he is side by side with Erickson. Trying to get the lap back the hard way is that number 65 Chevy. Now being pushed by his buddy Andrew Bolander into 2. How aggressive is Andrew going to get with his pushes? You saw Nick get right up on the back bumper of the 28. Broke the back of that Ford F-150 very loose getting into 3. Nick, I thought, was going to try and make it 3 wide around the high line. But Erickson out front by himself for the lead. Remember, the 65 is a lap down, but here comes the 2 of Andrew trying to change all of that. Man, these guys are just throwing it all out there on the line right now. These guys don't care about quick repairs. They're just out here to see if they can't get the win here. Let's jump inside the cockpit of this number 29 Chevy. You see the 2 right in front of him. He's on the inside of the 28. Big save out of 28. You saw him get a little loose. Big run by the 89. Right to the back bumper. He goes to the 28. But he had to lift right there because these straightaways, they are very short here at Atlanta. And just like Daytona and Talladega, you do not want to bump draft through these corners. But Nick, let's jump inside the cockpit of that 89. You see him getting the big runs at the wrong time. But this time he's all over the back bumper of the 28 through 1 and 2. Oh, the 65's going to jump up. Nick's going to jump out of it. Oh, the 28's going to get sideways. We're on the 89. They're all going to keep it going straight somehow, some way. They all keep it going straight. 89's going to save it. The 04 sideways. But big implications for the 28. Matthew Erickson now, big damage to the right front of that number 28 Ford. But back out front, things have changed. The 29 all by himself with David Chandler in second, Andrew Bolander in third. They're all single file, 1, 2, 3. Christopher Thomas, the man with the coldest hands in the league, with the biggest saves of the night, finds himself back up here in the top 5. He's running in 4th. Side by side now for a second. David Chandler, big move. Big block by the 65. Big block by the 65. It's easy to say as the broadcaster, but I don't agree with that big block. The 65, remember, he is a lap down. Actually, he's back on the lead lap now because he's blocking his way. But technically, he is at the tail end of the lead lap, that 65 is. Throwing big blocks on the leaders. But here comes the rest of the field. Atlanta, you get the big draft just like at the big super speedways, and that has brought the field right back into this one. Matthew Erickson, you see it? He is on pit road in that number 28, sitting in the 11th position. Heartbreak for that 28 truck. He had himself one heck of a race going. The 04 is going to slip up. Is he going to save it? Yeah, he is. But someone else making his way up here slowly but surely is that number 25 of Matthew Tucker. He is in the 6th position. He's right back up in the thick of it, just along with Peyton Tulloch in at number 17. They have ran the back of the field most of this race, but here comes the 25 coming to start lap 50 out of 120. 10 laps to go, folks, and we will be halfway in this one. But back out front, side by side for the lead. David Chandler in the 1 continues to try to show the way here around Atlanta. The 65 continuing to block his way to stay on the lead lap. Side by side for 2nd, the 2 and the 29. Remember, John Turner has the 89 on the side of his truck, but that is not his number. He is actually the number 29 in the league. The number 89 is Nick Trudeau back there in 7th, having to run the number 19 truck because the 89 was taken. But that is behind us, and they are still side by side for the lead. David Chandler trying to work both lines, trying to figure out which one's going to get the big momentum. Here comes the 29 on the outside. Here comes the 17 of Peyton all by himself, trying to use the draft off the 29. He's going to try to get to his back bumper. Peyton has cracked his way into the top 5. Here comes Tucker in the 25 as well. The 25 trying to work both lines as well. You see him dipping and diving from the inside to the outside. He's trying to work that high line and the inside line both at the same time. That is very helpful when you got both lines side by side. He's going to stay with his buddy Peyton, and they're going to try to get that high line moving. Andrew Bolian is going to slip up off the back bumper, that number 1, but the draft is going to get him right back to him. But they continue to be side by side for the lead. Big run by that high line. The 29 of Turner has cleared the other leader of David Chandler in the 1. Remember, the 65 is still at the tail end of the lead lap now, being marked 1 lap down as the leader has passed him in the 89. Sorry, 29. The front 8 drivers you could throw a blanket over right now. 0.61 is the difference between 1st to 8th. I absolutely love the new configuration of Atlanta Motor Speedway. I know a lot of the drivers didn't want to see Atlanta get changed, but I am absolutely loving the new configuration here. But folks, there is no time better than now to go ahead and turn the volume up. It is time for NEXXTCAR It Up here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Side-by-side racing, it don't get any better than this. Folks, it don't get much better than that here in racing. Absolutely love the camera work here in iRacing. But back out front, we saw Matthew Tucker take over the lead here at the halfway point here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 60 laps down, 60 to go here. These drivers continue to put it all on the line here as the 65 continues to be involved up here with the leaders, mixing it up as the 1 almost pushes up into the 25, but they all keep it going straight. These drivers still, you can throw a blanket over your top 8. The racing tonight has been absolutely unbelievable. The saves, the battles have been remarkable. You see now the 65's getting a big lead on the field here. Remember that 65 is still at the tail end of the lead lap. Your battle for the lead is right here between the 1 and the 25 and everyone else behind. Inside versus outside. Who gets the big momentum? The 1 jumps up in front of the 25. The 25 gives a big push heading into 3. But here comes the 29 trying to get to the back bumper. And folks, you see it just out front of the leaders. They have got a huge pack of lapped cars to deal with. You see it all. What is that going to do for the leaders? The 25 sees a big save. Folks, we are going to have lapped cars mixing it up here with the leaders. Our pack has just about doubled in this one. Oh, buddy, you see David Chandler. He is your current leader up high. The driver's big save by what looks to be the 28 down there on the apron. But they're still almost side by side. 3 wide. That's going to bring out your second caution. They're not going to save it. They are going to save it. No caution. Caution's out now. As we got another wreck out front. John Turner involved in this one. He was running in the 3rd position. Your 4th caution of the night. That was some amazing racing. No doubt about it. Let's back it up and see what transpired here with this 89. The 65, the 12, they were bumping and banging. They had it saved, though. The 5 just, it looked like he bottomed out. And the 89 was on his outside, came down. And then the 2 just happened to be right there in the right place at the wrong time. And the 29 got lucky that there wasn't a whole lot more damage to that truck. Little bit of cosmetic damage to the number 89, the right side of it, but honestly, not that bad. Could have been a lot worse. You can see it right there. Let's go ahead and hide the tower. You can see all the damage there on the right front of the wheel well, now making his way to the pit road, and a little bit there on the right rear wheel well. But honestly, not as bad as you would think. But could have been a lot worse for your leader, or one of your leaders right there. The 29 has definitely had himself one heck of a race so far tonight. But back out front, being scored your leader, because he has that number 1 pit stall. So David Chandler is going to beat the field off pit road. The 25 in 2nd, 5 in 3rd, Peyton in 4th. Nick Trudeau is going to round out your top 5 with the, who's that right there behind him? Stephen Henning is being scored in 6th, and then number 64, John Turner. Great to see Steve Bocock didn't have to get too much damage fixed there with that spin with the 65. He's going to get that number 12 roll in here. Let's go ahead and check out his right front of that truck. See what kind of damage he's got. Wrong one. Not a scratch on that thing. So I'm wondering if he wasn't able to save a quick repair earlier and just used it now. But back out front, David Chandler in the number 1 continues to lead the way here in that Bud Platinum Toyota Tundra. Let's go ahead and do a quick run through the field here. Why don't we? While these guys are under caution. Starting out front, David Chandler in that number 1. He has definitely had a very good race so far, finding himself out front for a lot of it. Matt Tucker in that number 25. He started pretty high up there in that 5th position. Fell back to the back there, jumping out of the pack, and it has played out perfectly for him. Christopher Thomas, some big saves for that number 5 Chevy Silverado. He finds himself running in the 3rd position. Peyton Tulloch started in 2nd. He is running around in that 4th position. He has kept his nose clean. He fell back with Matthew Tucker to the back of the pack. And then your pole sitter is currently running around in the 5th position. It says he's number 19, but he's actually the number 89. But folks, we are about to go back racing here in this one. David Chandler on the inside, Matthew Tucker on the outside. Both of them have good buddies behind them. Chandler has Thomas. Tucker has Tulloch. The top 10 drivers all on the lead lap. Jimmy Emos 1 lap down. Zach Brooks, Erickson, Babcock 2 laps down. Bocock and Larson 4, Maxwell 6. But it is time to go back racing here. For the 4th time tonight, green flag is back out in the air here in this one. Big start by the 1. Got an absolutely beautiful launch off that restart. Peyton and Matthew, the only ones dedicated to that high line right now. Nick's going to jump up there. It looked like the 5 had the same idea, but they're going to be 3 wide heading into turn 3. They're going to back out of it. Honestly, I like that decision to back out there. Matt, big heads up move there. He's seen the 5 get extremely loose, and not just that, but everybody else getting extremely loose. And here he comes. Big run on the high side for that 25. He's going to have a big run heading into turn number 3 off that high line. Where does he go with it? As the leader's going to be almost 3 wide. He's going to get to the back bumper. And Nick, he's going to give Nick a huge shot heading into 3. Nick Trudeau with a big push from the 25 is going to get back to the lead. The 25 not quite clear of the 1, but Nick is. Can he drop down? Will he drop down? And will he try to control both lines as they are almost looking to go 3 wide out back? The top 3 guys in that high line, the first 3 trucks, were 3 trucks that battled it out all race long 2 weeks ago at Canadian Tire. Nick Trudeau in the 89 walked away with the win, but the 25 and the 17 all now bumper to bumper on that high line, all mixing it up at Canadian Tire. It could have come down to either of those 3 going to victory lane, but Nick was the one that didn't make the mistake at the end. Matthew Tucker had it won, but then just handed it right back to Nick. But right now, Nick, can he go back-to-back races with the win? He's got a long way to go as they are just now coming to complete lap 72 out of 120. Still, a lot of racing left in this one, folks. Chandler on the inside, Trudeau on the outside. Tucker trying through the middle. Thinks better of it. He's still going to try the middle. The 5, big save. Matthew Erickson. Does he get a big save? They're all going to keep it going straight. Can he still save it? Yes, he can. Man, these drivers have been making some big saves all race long. And it is the same story here tonight. Still side by side. Inside line versus outside line. 5 trucks on the outside. 3 trucks on the inside. Nick is going to clear the inside. Can Matthew clear him? If they do, where do they go? Do they stay to the outside? Here comes Tuck. It looked like he's going to try to get a big run. Watch out, Nick. If you're Matt, that is the last place you want to push is uneven on the rear bumper. You want to try and square up that push as much as you can. David Chandler jumps up to the high line. That's going to give way to the 29 underneath them. John Turner back to the inside line, leading the charge here for the lead. Still, side by side, these drivers jostling for every inch they can get. Nick, I thought, was going to go to the outside of the one. These guys are beating and banging, jostling for every position, side drafting one another. Folks, this race has been anything but boring here in this one. 76 down. Maybe a little bit of contact there between the 1 and the 29, trying to side draft their way to the lead. The 29 is going to clear the 1. He slides up. He's not clear. That's going to turn to 1. He's going to come back up. He's going to keep it out of the field. We stayed green. But the 29 was not clear. Caution finds big carnage in tri-oval. We got a guy upside down. That's Jonathan right in the 04. That all started with John Turner. Was not clear of the 1. Let's back it up and so, what a ride the 04 just took. Matthew Tucker got loose. Babcock got loose. Man. What a ride the 04 just took in that one. I don't like to place blame on any drivers, but that one was all due to John Turner. Let's back it up here. You know, you can say the 1 should have lifted or could have lifted, but when you're getting pushed by 5 guys behind you, there is no lifting. Momentum is going to carry you. Even you could be out of the gas, but momentum is going to carry you all the way. Just not clear when he slid up in front of him. Let's back it up here a little more. Let's jump on the nose here of this 1 truck. Right there, the 89 not clear, slides up in front of him. And then you see the wild ride right there the 04 takes. Man. But out front, how about this, folks? The man who with the biggest saves of the race, finding himself out front in this one. Christopher Thomas. Jimmy Emos, we're getting word, has crashed under caution. But back out front, you got the 5 and the 89, the 17 and the 64. You see the 7, he's coming to make his pit stop. He's a couple laps down. There you go. Right now, Chevy's owning the top 7 spots here at Atlanta. Your first Toyota, David Chandler, involved in that one. In 8th, Jimmy Emos and Turner. 9th and 10th in their Chevy Silverados. You can see right there, Chevy, definitely the most popular make here in NEXXTCAR. But man, these drivers continue to put on a show here in this one. That is only the 5th caution of the night. So these guys have done pretty good. For super speedway racing and for a track as narrow as Atlanta is, these drivers have definitely put on a heck of a show here in this one. No doubt about it. But when the green flag drops this time, we have got 40 laps to go in this one, ladies and gentlemen. The first 80 laps have been amazing. I have no doubt the last 40 are going to be as well. Pace car on pit road. The control of the field in the 5's hands. Green flag is going to be back out in the air here at Atlanta. Both drivers get a beautiful launch. The 5 and the 89. The 89 is going to drop down to that inside line. So does the 64. He's going to drop to the inside as well. They're going to be single file for the first 8 trucks. Side by side once again for the lead. Trudeau outside, Thomas inside. That outside line has got all of the momentum tonight, but can it prevail once again? Being led by that 89 Chevy, trying to go back-to-back races here and get a win. Nick Trudeau won 2 weeks ago, Canadian Tire. Christopher Thomas looking for his first win of the season. Mitch Diamond has won twice this season. He is your only repeat winner of the season. Can he go back to victory lane for a 3rd time? That 17 of Peyton Tillock, he's looking for his first win. He thought last week was maybe his best chance. Can he get it done at a super speedway? Stephen Henning, the Canadian, he's running around in 6th in that number 64. Uh-oh. iRacing has just frozen, folks. Hold on. iRacing has just frozen. Our timing screen is still going, but the racing feed has been frozen. I can still hear the cars in the background. All right, folks, we're going to step away to our intermission screen here for a second. See if we can't get this figured out. We will be right back here in this one. Don't go anywhere because the rest of this race is going to be great. We will be right back.
Now. Yeah, she hates me now. I made mistakes, but now I don't ever want to be alone. Up here, I don't think I'm chosen to be the king of rock. Think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock. I'm in motion, so now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion. Yeah. Sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah. Ready to go, man. Lock and load. That's right. I swear to God that I could drop you, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. I don't care what they all say. That's right. I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. Okay. We work hard, then we all play. Yeah. I'm addicted to the grind, man. That's right. So I refuse to waste time, man. Yeah. One day it all will be fine, man. Let's go. Gotta commit to the climb, you know man. We're back with the Guinness, setting records every minute. wanna hate, fine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating. Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I could drop you, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows.
All right, folks, sorry about that. I think we are back. We are under caution for the 6th time tonight. Unfortunately, with sim racing, there's a lot of stuff that you need to rely on to happen, and unfortunately, sometimes not everything works correctly. You know, you got to rely on a lot of computers and everything. Well, unfortunately, sometimes technology does not work correctly. But hey, we're back in this one here on lap 88 of 120, closing in on that 30 lap to go mark. We are side by side getting ready for another restart here in this one. But Jimmy Emos getting really anxious on that restart. Green flag is going to be back out in the air here. The 25 of Matthew Tucker is going to get himself a great restart. David Chandler, Jimmy Emos is going to stack up everybody behind him. Yeah. Sorry about that. If you guys thought that was your computer or something that froze, it was not, folks. No idea what happened with iRacing, but we are back in it. And how about the 65 of Mitch Diamond? He is right back in this thing. You saw him jostling it up with the leaders early on, trying to get his lap back the hard way. The man got it back, and he is finding himself up here in second. But here comes Tucker on the inside. Matthew Tucker with the big push. We got caution out back. Robert Babcock involved in this one. He's got to keep it going straight. We stay green. Back out front, still side by side racing, coming to 30 laps to go this time. That one goes to Tucker. But here comes Bolander on the outside. A lot of jostling for position going on right now. The 1 all over the back bumper of the 25. The 2 trying to hold his own on the outside line. He has got help from the 7. That is Maxwell. You see it. He is 6 laps down trying to get one of those back the hard way, just like you saw the 65 do earlier. So that's 7, mixing it up with the leaders once again here. But that inside line still being led by the number 25 W Chevy Silverado's Maxwell is now going to jump down, and he's going to be leading that inside line. Here comes, here comes Tucker, but here comes Bolander right back. Tucker's going to try to look to the inside. I thought he was going to make it 3 wide there with Maxwell, but definitely thought better of it, and can't say I blame him, honestly. Into the wall. I can't tell who that is. Maybe the 29 up into the wall coming out of turn number 2. But here comes Tucker. I thought he was going to make it 3 wide once again there, but definitely thinks better of it that time again. Sideways coming off of turn number 4. Bolander's going to lead this one. Peyton back there, the 4th truck on that outside line behind the 89 of Nick. Where is he going to be able to go in this one? Can he try to work his way back up there? The 5, he has had some big saves. Tucker gives up on that inside line with the lapped car. He's going to jump up to the outside line behind the 65. He's going to almost turn to 65. The 89 of Nick is going to give Tucker enough room to save it after that little incident. But everybody's going to keep it going straight. And Jimmy Emos now up here in the 7th position in that purple 38 Chevy Silverado. But big jump down to the inside line by Diamond. Mitch Diamond now leads the charge on that inside line. He's going to clear the 2. Can Andrew Bolander, can he work his way back up there to the outside of the 65? He's got his good buddy Matthew Tucker all over the back bumper. Side by side once again for the lead here at Atlanta, just like we've seen all race long in this one. Oh, the 7. Big push from the 5. He's going to keep it going straight. Remember, the 7 and 5 just cannot quite seem to get away from each other. The 29 is involved in this one. John Turner, big caution. Jimmy Emos was inside the top 8. He is going to find himself involved in this one as he is going to get taken out in this one. Let's back it up and see what happened. We saw the 04 get loose in front of these guys. You see the 04 down there on that inside line. He's sideways right there. Comes back up, and then Jimmy Emos just, I don't know. He just kind of freaked out a little bit, I guess, and just hooked a hard right. And unfortunately, John Turner and that number 29 just happened to be on the outside. But back up front we go here. Mitch Diamond, we've talked about him several times now. He was mixing it up with the leaders being a lap down, and then he now finds himself out here leading this thing on the lead lap. What a recovery for the number 65. Matthew Tucker, he started this thing back there in the 5th position, gave that up in the opening laps. He fell all the way back to the back, but now finding himself back up front in this one in that 2nd position. Nicholas Trudeau, he is your pole sitter for tonight. The graphic says he's number 19, but he's actually the number 89. He, like I said, he is your pole sitter. He's mixed it up quite a bit with these guys, a lot of back and forth, but he finds himself back up here in the top 3. The cold hands of the league, Christopher Thomas with the big saves of the night in that number 5 Chevy Silverado. Absolutely amazing job that man has done inside that Chevy. He has had that wheel turned harder and further to the right than he has to the left all race long. And the man just continues to make save after save. Peyton Tulloch in that number 17 Tennessee Titan Chevy Silverado. He has worked his way back up into the top 5. He started in 2nd, but like, I think we just lost Peyton. I think Peyton has just lost connection to iRacing. Peyton Tulloch has just lost connection to iRacing. The man was inside the top 5. The number 17 has just lost connection. We were just talking about how a lot has got to go right with the technology for sim racing. Well, we saw it with the live stream. It froze. Well, now Peyton is seeing it as major implications on that number 17. He may be able to get back in here before these guys get back around. You see the caution has been extended. They were ready to go back racing side by side, but the caution has been thrown out. It has been extended one more lap, and I believe that is going to be so we can try to get Peyton back into this thing. I'm not sure what's going on with iRacing tonight. It's getting pretty interesting here, folks, but we are about to hit 20 laps to go in this one. 21 to go here. If they go green next time, we will be at 20 laps to go at the drop of the green flag. But you see Peyton now back there in that 10th position. The lights are back off on the pace car. We are going green this time, and when we do, we will be 20 laps to go here around this 1.5 mile track of the new configured Atlanta Motor Speedway. You see it there, Peyton to luck is out. Major implications on that number 17 Chevy Silverado. You hate to see it, you absolutely do. The man was looking like he was going to have a truck to beat and it was going to be able to compete to head to victory lane. But just unforeseen issues on that number 17. But back out front, Mitch Diamond, Matthew Tucker make up your front row. Nick Trudeau and Christopher Thomas make up your second row. Andrew Bolander and Stephen Henning. That's a name we haven't mentioned too often here tonight. Stephen Henning in that number 64. Plus 12 positions up there in the 6th spot. But back out front, the lights are off on the pace car, folks. We are about to go back racing with 20 laps to go. Here we go. Control of the field in the 65's hand. Green flag is going to be back in the air in this one. 20 laps to go. You saw it just change over. The 65 with a big restart. Here comes the 25 with the 89, leaving the 2 out to dry on the outside. Matthew Tucker looking for his first win of the season. Nick Trudeau looking for his second. Andrew Bolander in the 2. He's looking for his second. So some hungry folks out front. Mitch Diamond looking for his third. So we got some hungry folks out front, and Christopher Thomas, he's looking for his first win as well. 19 to go here as the field back to side by side here for the lead. 65 inside, 2 outside. Oh, Matthew Tucker saves it, slides back up in front of Nick. How's that going to work? It's not going to. The 22 goes around. We're going to have another caution. The 22 of Zachary Brooks around in this one. We stay green. We stay green. Somehow. Caution does not come out, but that is played out perfectly for the front 2. Diamond and Bolander coming to 17 laps to go this time. 2 by 2 behind them. Here comes the rest of the field. They're going to be getting a big run through 1 and 2. Matthew Tucker, he's already at the back bumper of Bolander. Where does him and Nick go? They go to the outside. Almost 3 wide. The 2 just barely clear of the 65 as the 65 dropped back down in front of him. But here comes Tucker and Trudeau on the outside. And then here comes the 04 of Jonathan Wright. He's still a lap down, but he's trying to get up there and mix it up with the leaders. Him and Matthew Erickson battling for the lucky dog position if another caution was to come out. You see, I think that's the 17 down on the apron, I think. That was big heartbreak for Peyton Tulloch in that 17. But back out front, 15 to go this time, side by side. Matthew Tucker now takes over the position here at Atlanta. Here comes Nick. Here comes the 04. Remember, Jonathan Wright is still a lap down in that 04. But here comes right back that inside line, being led by Mitch Diamond, Bolander, and the 5 of Thomas. Here comes Matthew Erickson in that 28. He's the 4th truck on that inside line. He's a lap down. The 2. He's going to get bumped out of position. He's going to save it. Oh, this is going to get dicey here, folks. The 28 is going to let him get back into position. That could have been so much worse than it was, but back out front, we're still side by side for the lead. Mitch Diamond, Matthew Tucker, side by side. You see the ticker on the left, just swapping back and forth with who is leading this race. 13 to go. Peyton Tulloch back in it in the 10th position, 2 laps down. How aggressive does Trudeau and Thomas get with their pushes? They are the second trucks in the inside and outside line, the 5 and the 89. How aggressive do they get with the bumping? Nick is going to push the 25 clear to the inside line, but here comes Mitch Diamond right back at him. Six rows deep, side by side here at Atlanta, coming to 11 laps to go. Thomas looking to the inside of the 65, backs out of it. Here comes the 04, trying to get to the outside of Trudeau. Man, these guys are dipping and diving, and they are acting like this is the last lap here. But guys, oh! Tucker sideways! Caution is out! The 65, the 25, involved in this one. The 2 leaders have just taken each other out here at Atlanta. The 2 leaders have just taken each other out. It looks like Matthew just got a big push from that 89 and could not save it. Right there, got him loose, and the 65 came up. Matthew up onto his roof, hits the inside wall, lands it, spiraling. Both drivers landed on their wheels. But, man, that is major implications for your 2 leaders here in this one. Matthew Tucker and Mitch Diamond. They were side by side coming out of turn 2. And just one driver got a big push from behind. The other one came up. Absolute recipe for disaster in this one. But back out front, we got major action coming to pit road. Pit road is getting extremely busy here in this one, folks. You can see them all coming down pit road, being led by Nick Trudeau in the 89. David Chandler, Christopher Thomas, Nick Trudeau gonna lead everybody off pit road as a lot of guys coming down to get some damage fixed here in this one and try to get some clean racing here. As folks, we have got ourselves 10 laps to go. Sorry, 9 laps to go. Andrew Bolander looking for his second win of the season. Stephen Henning looking for his first win of the season. David Chandler, he's being scored in the 3rd position. He's looking for his first win. Christopher Thomas, another guy looking for his first win. And then Nick Trudeau in 5th, looking to go back-to-back races with wins. So 3 out of the top 5 are still looking to try to come away with their first victory. And how about this, folks? You guys saw it. Major implications on that number 17 truck. Well, folks, if you look at the 6th position of the tower, Peyton Tilluck is right back in this thing, folks. Just like I said, you don't know what's gonna happen. Jump back in here, get back to racing, because you may find yourself back in the thick of it all as these drivers now getting ready to go back racing here in this one, folks. We are going to have a 7-lap shootout to end it here at Atlanta. 7 to go this time when the green flag drops. 7 drivers on the lead lap. Matthew Erickson in 8th is 1 lap down. Jimmy Emos 2 laps down in 9th. Matthew Tucker, Mitch Diamond, both still on pit road after battling side by side for the lead and possibly the win, take each other out. J.D. Larson in 12th, 7 laps down. Steve Bocock, he's out of the race. Michael Maxwell in 14th, 8 laps down. 15th, 16th, and 17th, all out. But folks, it is time to get back racing. Reach up there and pull them seatbelts tight, drivers, because these last 7 laps are about to get insane. Make sure they're tight. Jimmy Emos looking to jump out of the line. Green flag is going to be back out in the air. 7 laps to go here at Atlanta. Andrew Bolander clears the field. Here comes everybody else. Henning on the outside. David Chandler on the inside. The 5's going to turn to 64. We're going to get another caution. Caution flies as the 5, very aggressive with this pushing through turns 1 and 2. He's going to spin Stephen Henning into 64. 9th caution of the night. Let's back it up. You saw it live. Just not quite squared up with the rear bumper, and right around the 64 goes right there. If you're gonna push in the corners, guys, you've got to get square with the back bumper. The 64 is lucky, not a whole lot of damage to that Chevy, so he should be able to keep it going straight, being scored in the 7th position. But guys, we have got our 9th caution of the night. This may just make it a 3-lap shootout to the end. It's probably not going to be a green-white checkered, but this could be a quick 3-lap shootout to the end. But we are going to cue the music. We're going to be right back here in a second. Don't go anywhere, folks. I need to get some water so we can bring these drivers home here tonight. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back here at Atlanta.
I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. Okay. We work hard, then we all play. Yeah. I'm addicted to the grind, man. That's right. So I refuse to waste time, man. Yeah. One day it all will be fine, man. Let's go. Gotta commit to the climb. You know we're back with the Guinness, setting records every minute, every track. In addiction to the fact that we're winning, still we lack something's missing. Need a track that is hitting, making racks, making millions. If you ask, that's a mission. I don't waste time, no, I make time. All these people wanna hate, fine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating. Yeah. So Sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I could drop you, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. Yeah. Just tell me where you wanna go. Let me take you there. You see, I've been around the globe. I've seen a lot, babe. But I wanna see what's above. I wanna see what's below.
All right, folks, you see it, the field side by side behind the pace car with the lights off. 4 laps to go. We are going green with 3 laps to go this time. Reach up there and make sure those seatbelts are buckled tight, drivers. Make sure you got them as tight as you can. Make sure you're strapped in there because we are about to get some wild racing here at Atlanta. The new configuration, the mini super speedway, the baby of Daytona and Talladega, a 1.5 mile super speedway. These drivers had 120 laps here tonight, and they have not disappointed at all. They may have had 9 cautions so far, but this has been some absolutely amazing racing here. Atlanta, very narrow, but these drivers have got a huge task ahead of them in this one. The pace car, hooking the hard left, control of the field, in Bollander's hands. Green flag back in the air here. 3 laps to go. This is not a green-white checker, folks, but Andrew Bollander's going to get a great launch. Did he get too good of one? As here comes Trudeau and the rest of the field. Nick, going to get to the inside of the 2. Side by side once again for the lead. Nick's going to get a big push from the 04 of Jonathan Wright. Jonathan Wright jumps up in front of the 2. Nick jumps up in front of the 04. The 04 is going to try to cross over. He's going to make it work. The 04 to the bottom in front of the 1 of David Chandler. 2 laps to go. Here comes the 17. 2 laps to go here in Atlanta. Jonathan Wright looking to try to go back to victory lane. Nick Trudeau leading the charge on the outside. He's trying to get back to victory lane. The 2 guys on the inside, the 1 and the 17, have never been to victory lane yet this season. Neither has the 5. He's getting aggressive. The 25 as well. White flag in the air this time, presented by W Energy. They're going to make it back, but that's about as far as they're going to get. Nick Trudeau being scored out front. The 2's going to get spun by Tucker. The 5's going to go around. He's going to save it. Nick Trudeau is going to try to hold on here in the 89 truck. Trying to break the draft here down the backstretch. He is going to make it through turns 3 and 4. He won at Canadian Tire 2 weeks ago. He's going to get it done in Atlanta. He's going to go back-to-back wins. Nick Trudeau from the pole to victory. Nicholas Trudeau gets it done in the 89. Nicholas Trudeau, absolutely amazing. A lot of carnage on the last lap. There is going to be a lot of upset drivers after this one, folks, but that is just a product of super speedway racing. The bumps are going to be greater, the beating is going to be harder, and Nicholas Trudeau able to survive a wild one here in Atlanta. Let's see if he has learned his burnout skills here in this one. It was rough at Canadian Tire. Let's see how he does here in Atlanta. Much better, Nicholas. Much better. Nicholas Trudeau gonna survive the wild race here in Atlanta. Absolutely insane. But Nick Trudeau, we talked about it at the beginning of the race. He was battling the flu. Got the pole, and now he is a two-time winner here on iRacing and the NEXXTCAR Racing League. Burn it down, buddy. Absolutely burn it down. The NEXXTCAR Racing League Chevy Silverado is going to get his way back to victory lane. It looks like his burnout is over. Let's get your finishing results up here in this one. Nick Trudeau grabbing his second win of the season. Jonathan Wright in second. Christopher Thomas third. Stephen Henning fourth. Peyton Tilluck rebounding to fifth. Andrew Bolander 6th, Matthew Erickson 7th, David Chandler 8th, Jimmy Emos 9th, Mitch Diamond 10th, Matthew Tucker 11th, JD Larson 12th, Michael Maxwell 13th, Steve Bocock 14th, John Turner 15th, and Zachary Brooks 16th. Robert Babcock is going to finish 17th. Well, folks, don't go anywhere because we are going to be right back with your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Get ready, take it on, need a handout. I already stand out, starting to advance now. Ready to expand now, you don't have a chance now. Cause we're in demand now, make it by the grand now. Feeling in command now, they're looking right at me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me, they want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now. Girl, you got me shook from the way your body looks. Got me riding hooks, got me feeling like a rook. I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah. I'll keep it real, let's make a deal. Buy you a meal if you just let me feel. Get out your heels, grab on the wheel. Back to my place at the top of the hill. Don't have regrets, I know what's next. She need a fresh, I'll be back in a sec. Look at them legs, don't make me beg. Back to the room, let me show you my bed.
Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I could look at you all day, watch the way them hips sway. Love your body, so I pray, don't you dare take it away. Can't control what I say, lost my mind cause your frame. Hey girl, what's your name? Lit me up just like a flame. Body in motion, I feel the commotion. Beyond you like lotion, I'm honest and broken. I flow like the ocean, I feel you were chosen to fix me, I'm broken. My heart that you stolen, hey. Stay with me, play with me, lay with me. Hate to see when you leave, chemistry feels like it's destiny. I just want you laying next to me, and I really don't want you to ever leave. On your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb.
Yeah, let's go. I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal, I'm dropping bombs, you know. No, I'm not stopping, no. Conquer the obstacle. To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion.
Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I could drop you, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, let's go. I don't care what they all say. That's right, I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. Okay, we work hard, then we all play. Yeah, I'm addicted to the grind, man. That's right, so I refuse.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to your post-race interviews from Atlanta Motor Speedway. A wild finish, 52 lead changes, but the driver to get the last one is going to go back-to-back with victories at Canadian Tire and now at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Nick, what is going on, buddy?
Trying to catch my breath, Ronnie. That was a handful and very exciting. And I was holding my breath there the last lap, and luckily held off the 04 enough to get the checkered flag.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a wild finish. As everything was going on around you and everyone else found themselves in the midst of all the chaos, how were you able to make it through and grab your second win?
Yeah, the restart before, I think we lined up 5th or 6th and on the inside and got that caution, and then we were lining up 3rd, and I thought that was a pretty good spot to be in. Right behind Andrew, and we got a good restart on the bottom, and then he moved up a little bit and got my nose under him. I don't know if he was waiting for the 04 to go with him up top or what. But yeah, I had a good run going through, and then I don't even know what happened behind me. I think the 04 took the 2 out or something happened, and I was just looking my rear view at chaos, and I'm like, just keep going. And then the 04 was catching me slowly.
but we had enough gap to hold them off there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it all played out in your favor. There's no doubt about it. But congrats on your second win. I know you're battling the flu and everything, but way to power through it and get back to victory lane.
Yeah, no, I'll chalk it up as my flu race. So we're good. We're good. Back-to-back wins is huge, and unfortunately missed a few races at the beginning of the season, and I think we would be right up there with them if we were there the first few weeks. So looking forward to season 2 coming up just after Christmas and start of the new year, and we'll get them next season, be in the hunt for it.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your second place finisher, JD Jonathan Wright. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much.
All right, man. You found yourself right in the mix of it all there in the last closing laps. Walk us through your race.
Yeah, I did got a couple laps down there for a little bit and came back up through there, got those laps back, and then had a shot at the end. Had a great restart on the last restart. Put a good move on the whatever number Trudeau was. Took the lead, left UK out, and then I got sucked up next to UK when they passed me. I picked the wrong lane to block. Blocked the bottom, should have blocked the top. And then I took UK out, but he'll be okay. He's taken me out before.
Absolutely. Now are you all even?
No, I still owe him a couple.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just a product of super speedway racing. Like you said, you should have blocked the bottom, but you went to the top, and that's how it goes.
Yeah. If I had to do it over again, I'd have blocked the other lane and took a chance. I probably wrecked myself trying to win, but I don't care. It would have been worth it.
Absolutely. But coming home second after a wild race has got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then thanks to Erickson, he painted me a new old truck up. And out there, almost won the race with it. Ended up wrecking him with it earlier. Didn't get checked up and ran him over, so I apologize for that. Hope he's not too mad. And we'll go get him next time.
Absolutely, buddy. Heck of a race tonight.
Yeah, man.
Moving on to your third place finisher, maybe the coldest hands in the league, Christopher Thomas. Man, you had your hands full with that number 5 truck.
Yeah, what's going on, Ronnie?
You had just, from the drop of the green flag all the way to the checkered, it seemed like every other lap you were having to make some incredible save to keep that truck going forward.
Yeah, we got on that high line at the beginning of the race, and it was just an air thing up front. Got loose, wrecked out half the pack, and felt bad about that. Just kind of regathered and kind of, calmed down and relaxed and moved back. Kind of rode around for a couple laps and made our way back up there, led a couple times, and if you get below that line, it just gets really loose, or the air around you just gets loose, and as the tires wear it, they would slide a little bit. So took a little bit to figure that out, but once I got it figured out, started doing a lot better and drove up to the front a couple times.
Absolutely. You mentioned it at the beginning of the race. It seemed like you and that 7 of Mitchell just could not get away from each other.
No, I mean, that was a lot of that tonight. We get beside somebody or behind somebody, and you can only push going down the back straightaway. You could kind of push into travel if you know right where to push at. Of course, I got into Gat there going in travel at one time, and he got a little loose because it was just bad timing on my part trying to push there with like 20 to go. But all in all, it was a fun race, and it's good to run up front with them guys.
Absolutely, buddy. But coming away with the top 3, it's got to feel pretty good. Congrats on that one.
Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your 4th place finisher, Stephen Henning, your biggest mover of the race and put down the fastest lap of the race. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. I'm still trying to catch my breath on that last lap and basically the last 10 there.
Absolutely, yeah. Basically 15 laps to go is where just the mayhem started, and I felt like we were at Daytona in the 500 versus Atlanta.
Oh, definitely. I knew it was going to be one of those tracks because I've heard that this track is a little evil like Daytona, but it's got a twist to it, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on the tri-oval where a lot of guys were having some issues tonight. You know, you're used to being able to maybe, make that arc down there, but here in the new configuration, you can't do that. So it makes that racing groove very narrow.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there was a lot of action there and in the corners there that made you almost clean your pants a couple times. And yeah,
Yeah, walk us through your race coming all the way from 18th to 4th.
well, I wanted to start in the back there because I knew going into it that up front would have been probably where a lot of the wrecks were to happen there. And then sitting in the back there, I got involved in a pretty big one. But then I just kind of rebounded and went from the front to the back to the front to the back. Went down a lap at one point, came back from that, and finished somehow P4.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, 4th out of that wild race has got to feel pretty good. Congrats on that one.
Thank you. And thanks, Ronnie. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too, buddy. Moving on to your 5th place finisher, Peyton Tullock. What's up, buddy?
Not much, Ronnie. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. So, you started 2nd. You saw your buddy Matthew Tucker. He dropped out of there, went to the back early on. You did the same thing basically the very next lap, and it worked out pretty good for you. It seemed like you were in a position to get a win until something happened. You were able to get back in and climb your way back up to a top 5.
Yeah, it was a wild night, as always, it feels like, for the 17 truck. But it was an interesting race. I obviously had a mechanical problem there. That was a big scare, but was able to get back out there, and thankfully race control got me back on the lead lap to have a chance there. So all in all, to get a top 5, I'll take it. Seeing how it's, kind of a unpredictable race with Atlanta being like a super speedway, but made more points up on the points leader. We're up to P2 now, and 9 points left to make up in 2 races. So might take a win, but we're going to keep plowing our way.
Absolutely, yeah. The standings, that championship can go to anyone basically still inside that top 10. It's so close here, and absolutely what we were hoping for with iRacing, and you guys are just proving that it was a great move. And tonight, you may have had 9 cautions, but the racing was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, guys are improving each week. I know it's hard to say that after a super speedway type track, but everybody's learning every week. Everybody's getting a little bit better, and yeah, I'm having a blast. I hope everybody else is too. So obviously we got a lot left to race for these last 2 races, but the way the league's growing and everything, I'm so excited to see the future.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats on the rebound to the top 5.
Thank you, Ryan. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. And the last guy I want to talk to tonight, the man who was so close to maybe getting his first win of the season, and at number 1, David Chandler, the race that maybe could have been.
Hey, Ronnie, how's it going, man? We had a good truck. Managed to get up front for a little bit, led 18 lap. I might have been able to get up there and pass Nick, and I can't remember who was in second place there, the 04 car or something like that. And I think we had a run for him, but the truck was kind of a little loose on the rear end, and unfortunately we just couldn't make it happen.
Absolutely. Well, unfortunately, he fell back to 8th, but after the wild race that you saw, it probably feels pretty good.
It was an absolute blast, Ron. Everyone was racing so good up front. We had some wrecks, sure, but with infinite quick repairs, you're gonna have that. So, it was a good night. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it, and you put on a hell of a show.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. One last guy I want to talk to. You guys know that have been with this since Heat. You guys know I got to poke the bear. Andrew, what's up, buddy?
What's going on?
All right, man. You heard Jonathan Wright's tale of the story. Walk us through yours.
Well, we're just giving Nick a big old shove through the front stretch and then turn 1. Felt like I just got chastained, but I know he was on purpose, and he apologized, so it was all good.
How do you feel?
It was fun racing. Huh?
Nope, go ahead.
It was fun racing with everybody up there. Led a few laps. Forget how many I led, but
21.
It was, oh, well, a lot more than I thought I did.
Down
Oh,
your
yeah.
more caution, I would have won.
Toby ain't here. Interviewing about me.
So how do you
Yeah,
feel
but
about Jonathan Wright's saying he still owes you one?
You can take as many shots as you can. I don't care.
All right. Well, moving on to your point standings here. Let's get those up here. Matthew Erickson still holds on to a 9-point lead over Peyton in second, and then another 9 points back to John Turner in third. So 9s everywhere here in the top 3. This championship is still anybody's up for grab. But these drivers are going to have a tough race ahead of them next week as we head to Lucas Oil Raceway for the 9th race of the season in the North Wilkesboro to close out season 1 here on iRacing. But ladies and gentlemen, these drivers put it all on the line here tonight. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you're hitting that like button, hit the follow, and we will catch you guys tomorrow night when the Next Gen Cup cars get to do it all over again here at Atlanta. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a